On the EOC, you don't get this exact one. They'll give you a fresh one that looks just like this, okay? This is exactly what you will have next to you while you're taking your exam. Shh. All right, let's go through it. Before we write these things down, I'll come back to this. Let's just highlight what's good on here. Notice that it has it broken down by function type. So for your memorization purposes, this first box is all straight line formulas. The middle one is for the parabolas. And then the last one is for exponential. So this is useful for slope. This is useful for x squared. And that last one is when x is an exponent. So this is pretty good. They give you all this stuff to look at. When you draw a blank, go back to this one. You're all very good at this one. Go back to this one. We did that yesterday. This one is called standard form. This is the form that we plugged in zeros for. Yeah, keep this. On the day of exam, you can't get this out. They'll give you a blank one. But the more you read it, I mean, most people don't even read the reference sheet on the exam. So if we show it to you now, then you'll know, like, when you have a question, if it'll be helpful. So in this form, remember to make a graph, you plug in x equals 0, solve, and then you plug in y equals 0 and solve. That standard form is the one where you use the intercepts. But you guys know slope really well. You know what formula we're going to write down here because they don't give it to you? But it's one of the best formulas in there. It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That one's not on there, but you have it memorized. Gotta not go blank on it. Caden? On that one? I'm not really sure. The people who decide what's on the reference sheet are in the Department of Education at the state, and it's composed of teachers and mathematicians and engineers and people in the field and people in education, and these are the formulas that have been approved this year. So yeah, these are the formulas for this year that you get. It's like way more than people used to get. It used to be just these conversions. Yeah. Yes, it's deciding the formula that's tricky, and a lot of that is like reading comprehension. Honestly, they say the problem with math is English because it's actually a lot of reading. One formula that they don't give you for quadratics that is often helpful is the formula for the center, which, if you recall, was negative b over 2 times a. Does anybody remember what that center line's called in a parabola? Yeah? Yes, so good. Axis of symmetry. I don't think I wrote symmetry that good. I keep messing up. Give me a second. So it's there, symmetry. I know I said highlighter and we haven't highlighted anything. We can highlight this one. And then I'm going to arrow down here. And just remind you that when you're looking at this one, remember the vertex is HK. And we talked about shifting left and right, shifting up and down, translations. So there are rules like if you are given a reference sheet and you haven't even like opened up the questions yet and you start writing on your reference sheet, they might take it. Because you're not supposed to do, that's called a brain dump. And so you're not really supposed to brain dump on exams. But as the test goes on, you remember them, you can write on there. But it, has to start out blank. But it's in your memory. So. Yeah, what I mean is a brain dump is like before you even start the test, they hand this to you and you. That's actually not allowed at higher level learning. Like they don't let you do that in college. When the proctors walk around in college during tests, they don't let you brain dump like that. You gotta have it in there for a while and write it down as time goes on. Why are you in such a rush to write it down so quickly? Right. And they're not interested in if you can remember something for 2 minutes. They want to know how much do you really know. So the brain dump isn't what they're trying to test. Right? So it does make sense. Okay. All right. So this one, forms of exponential functions. If you want to highlight it, you can. These were words like growth and decay. Like if you start with $1,000 and it increases as a rate of 5%, how much money would you have after 10 years? Remember that your rate goes in as a decimal. So we have linear, quadratic. Here's your quadratic formula. That's nice. You just have to plug in and simplify. So everybody will be given this type of calculator. They won't let you like pull this one out of your backpack. They'll hand it to you. And then there'll also be an online calculator. So if you've been practicing with this one, you're good to go. Or you can use the online calculator. You want to look at it right now? Yeah. So down here, this is just like that compounding interest, but when it says like n is the number of times compounded, for example, if your word problem says that the interest is compounded monthly, the n would be 12. So it would be $1,000 times 1 plus some rate, maybe 0.05 over 12, and your exponent is 12 times the number of years, just like the credit card project we did. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Oh, good. She'll be really happy to get that back. You don't have to go. Just skip. You don't have to go. You gotta leave. Need choices. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go back to what you saw when you walked in, and you can flip this paper over and let's write some details down about this exam. All right, flip your reference sheet over. Flip your reference sheet over. Write the test day, Thursday, May 8th. Neil, we're not doing that. Hi. You may shorthand it. You can shorthand this. You don't have to write this word for word. This is information. So, Jessica, this is the exact reference sheet you're going to get on the day of the exam. So I was just pointing out important details. You want to take a picture of what I wrote? You have a phone? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put it up. Here, I know, I'm just doing this for Jessica. So we just kind of went through some details and pointed out, see how it's straight line, parabola, exponential. Some really good details in there. All right, shh, you're silent. So, all right, we're going to write the day. So next Thursday, May 8th is your test day. It will be divided into 2 sections. So you'll get a little break after one section. Each section is 20 to 25 questions. They say it's about 45 to 50 questions total. You're allowed the whole school day. So if you feel like taking time will help you, yes. If you put your head down for more than 5 minutes, they will not give you extended time. So our testing coordinator tells the proctors to watch the students. If they have their head down and then they want more time at the end, that's a no-go. So if you need a few minutes to just de-stress and be ready to read the questions, fine. But just know, if you're trying to have your head down for 5-10 minutes, they may not give you the extra time. I just mean, like, you come in and you guys know, like, because I proctor the writing test, like, some people will, for 20 minutes, they'll conk out until it comes to the end. Towards the end, they feel really motivated to start typing. If that's you, the proctor does not have to give you more time. Okay, that's what we're trained as proctors. Well, we're trained. We didn't used to be, but our new testing coordinator has trained us to not let students put their head down and then give them more time. Yeah, they'll say, "Hey, pick your head up." They will. But I mean, don't assume on them to. They might just say, "Time's up. You're not allowed any more time. You're sleeping." So, the test is adaptive. It's a SMART test. What that means is that you cannot skip. You cannot read all the questions. You cannot skip through. And this was new last year, and it's crazy. There was a school district that told their students to read every question first. And the way the testing went, nobody could earn over a level 3 because it graded all of the questions as they went through. And even if they went back, they were given easier questions because of the way they flipped through. What it means by adaptive is that how you answer the first 3 questions determines the next 3 questions you get. So if you get the first 3 right, they might give you more difficult questions. If you get the first 3 wrong, they'll give you easier questions. Lower level. I shouldn't call any of them easier, but lower level. Okay? So you cannot skip questions. You have to answer it before you hit next. You must answer every question to the best of your ability. You don't want to just guess and hit next so you can see the next one. Problem solve something. Try to make an educated guess. Don't just boom and click, because that's going to affect the level you're on in the next question. The test will get harder or easier based on how you answer the first questions. So if you start to see things that look really unfamiliar and in words that you don't recognize, that could be a good sign. Like, maybe you're in a really difficult level, so don't stress. Just keep going through it. No, it's definitely adaptive. Yeah. So they're like, oh yeah, adaptive's doing good. Well, last year was the first year, so we probably won't know for like 5 years. They'll have to collect data and decide if they think. But the SAT is now adaptive also, so it's like, and as actually AI becomes more and more common, it'll probably get more and more adaptive as time goes on. It just helps them. It just helps really fine tune the scores more. It also prevents as much maybe like fraud. I don't want to call it like cheating or fraud, but everyone's gonna have a different testing experience, different questions based on how they do. So, did you know that the test is adaptive? Like you can't skip questions; you have to answer each question to the best of your ability. Like don't skip through and then try to go back, because how you answer each question, the next level will get more difficult or more basic. So answer each one to the best of your ability as you read it. You're writing this on the back of your paper. You can shorthand it. You don't have to write it word for word. I've already told you you get a handheld calculator and an online calculator. And keep in mind it's curved for the whole state. Well, typically if you can get half the questions, it's usually a passing score. That's a good chance you pass. So, and 50%, but it's not like directly like that. Some questions are worth more than others. So it's like
wrong, it can like determine the max score you can get for the rest of the test.
Yeah, well, in English, it's the first set of, if it's like an essay, yeah. Like if you get that whole essay wrong, that they'll drop you a level right from the beginning. Math is similar. It's not as extreme as English. Okay, like each question goes up and down. Yeah, yeah. This exam you will take every fall, winter, and spring until you pass it. Yeah.
And if you don't, if you like, if you pass it the first time, you don't have to take it again.
Yeah, you never take it again, so just get it over with.
Wait, so if you don't pass it, like by my senior year, I still don't pass it.
There are right now, and then I don't know what's going to happen before your 12th grade year. There are concordant scores. There's a score on the PSAT that you can get that will count. It's a pre-SAT test that you'll take next year. So there was a change in our policy since when I spoke to you at the beginning of the year to in January. They announced it to us. They're pretty much going to move everybody into geometry regardless. Now there will be some special cases, some certain cases where if you didn't pass the quarters, like if you didn't pass the class and you don't pass the exam, they could hold you back from geometry. But what they've decided is that since passing geometry is a high school requirement, get you in there as soon as possible so that you have all of high school to get it done in case you don't pass geometry. If you don't pass algebra or geometry, then you're at a very high risk of not getting your diploma. Algebra and geometry, and then you're done. Yeah. Algebra 2 is strictly a college prep course. It is not for a high school diploma. It's to go to college. In geometry. Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's it. Yep. All right. So now head to big ideas math. Let's look at the exam questions from yesterday, the practice exam questions. Yeah, go ahead and submit it. I want you to hold on to them for now. Don't lose them. Yeah, pull up your results and then I'll go over the questions.
Have they ever accused someone of cheating? Like they didn't get caught like during the test, but when they saw their score, like they accused someone of cheating.
No. There's no accusations without evidence. It's not like that.
There's cameras in there, right?
Yeah, there's always evidence. Oh, your browser is.
And you have that.
All right, moving on. Okay, so number 1, the value of a car decreases exponentially. Which part of the equation is the initial cost? This one is one I hope everybody gets right. The initial cost is the $35,000. Was this number 1 for everybody?
I'm still loading up. This is my number 1. Oh, I got it right. On the loading screen. Oh wait, I got it right. I got that one.
All right. Look, you guys, this is what I say when I know all of you are capable of passing the test if you just read it. You don't even need a calculator for this. This is testing you. Do you know the initial amount? And then this is the growth rate or decay rate. So if B is less than 1, and in this case 7/8 is less than 1, that's why it's decreasing. Okay? If this number here, the base of the exponent, was more than 1, this would be swooping uphill. Okay? Next one. Nolan, did you get that one? Where's James? You guys stop leaving. You guys want to hear it. No, but this is gold. That's like a really good. All right. Solve for y. That means get y alone.
So we wouldn't put x at 0.
No, that's a y-intercept. I'm glad you thought of that because that will be on the exam, but that's a y-intercept. I would add 7x over.
Oh, I know what to do now. I got one.
I mean, you were close.
Why are you guys talking? Did you get this one right? Everybody get out a piece of paper and a pencil. You need to write down what I write down for credit on this. Yep. Can you guys see the answers?
Yeah.
I can't, so I'm gonna look over yours and see what format they're in.
That's number 2. That's what good, David. Do we have to go back and write on number 1?
No. All right, that's number 2. I'm moving on. Do you want to do it on the back of the reference sheet? All right. Number 3. It's okay. Just start with number 3. It's okay. All right. Wow. We have to multiply this. So there's more than one right way to do this. I do think this looks extra challenging because of the decimals. You will want to use a calculator. But did you guys know you could use the window method here? Yeah. So we could put the 3.5x squared minus 5 plus 2x on the top. and negative 5x there, and negative 0.75 there. And you can do that multiplication method that we practiced, like the biology, where you multiply these, multiply these, multiply these. And then, of course, you would want a calculator for that. This is so use the big ideas calculator. You didn't know how to do it, Susan? Yeah. No, you're right. You're just multiplying the numbers in front, and then add the exponents. Multiply the numbers in front. Add exponents. Yes, Kaden.
So will the exam be harder than the questions on here?
Some will be easier. There will be some exam questions easier than what's on here. There might be a couple harder, but I wouldn't expect much harder than this. No.
When's this exam next week?
Thursday. They have not told us yet the schedule for you.
Oh wait, that was it. Would there be like invincible exponents or?
Yeah, there's an invisible one here and an invisible one here. So negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. X times x is x squared. 35,000? What are you talking about? I'm not ready. Oh, negative 17.5 x to the third. Sorry. It's a dot there. Yeah. No. Did you get this one right? Man, the decimals here are crazy. $2.625.
Like when?
All right, one thing I'm interested in is, do your exponents match mine? Did you take the time to pull up the Big Ideas math calculator and multiply it? So x and x squared gave me x to the third. Just one x here. X times x, x squared. X squared here. No x's here. And x to the first here. I don't think so. I don't think it'll come out right. It doesn't stay around. All right, now we have to take it out and write it. So, standard form puts the highest exponent first. So I'm going to put that third degree term first. So it's negative 17.5 x to the third. And I have to combine these like terms, right? They're both x squared. So I'm going to do 2.625 minus 10. Yeah, over there by the window. Is there what? Yeah, but you have to write it down correctly in standard form. So what's the answer, David? You get the answers up there?
Yeah, the answer's right here. Negative 12.625. I can tell you the answer.
Is this one negative then?
Yeah, this one's gonna be negative. Yeah. She just asked for it, and she looked at my computer. Who?
Yep, I got 1/7 here. And now this is negative. Negative 2.625 minus 10, negative 12. 23.53.75. Yep. So go ahead and check it. It's negative 12.625. This says, what's the coefficient in front of x squared? Negative 12.625.
I got this one right. What are we doing? Wait.
This and then steel strainer.
If I got this one right, I had to write it down.
No.
Because I got
All right, number 4. I'm hearing a lot of people got number 4 right. I saw you guys separating this on paper. 9x to the third over 3x minus 12x squared over 3x plus 27x over 3x. Write it out 3 times and simplify each fraction separately. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. And remember, you're going to subtract these exponents. X to the third over x to the first. One of those will cancel, x squared. Remember when we did this, we wrote it like this. With 3 on top. And then 1 down below. And then we would cross it out, the matching. And see how there's only 2 left? And that's why it's x squared. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. Yeah, you guys did a good job on this one. Yeah, you guys did a good job on this one. So then you have to write it in. You know one thing, Kaden, you asked me like details. There's going to be less fill in the blanks on the exam than what you see here. But you know what there'll be more of? Like select alls. You'll be like select all of the equivalents. And then there'll be some where you like have to put steps in order, like drag and drop. But there'll be a little bit more kind of multiple choice than what you see here. That's good, right? Yeah. Okay. Number 5, completely factor the polynomial. This is so. This is well. This was the answer. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. When there's 4 terms, you can factor by grouping. So you can do a group of 2 and a group of 2, and you take out a greatest common factor, a GCF. So if I cover this up, I think to myself, what do these two have in common? They have x squared in common. So I'm going to take that out of both of them. And what will be left over? Well, this is x to the third. I'm taking x squared out, x, and a minus 2. Remember, factor is opposite distribution. Imagine you were multiplying this in right now. X squared times x is x to the third. X squared times negative 2, negative 2x squared. Opposite distribution. And then out of these next two, we'll take a negative 8 out. And that'll be x minus 2. And then probably the only thing you remember about this is that the parentheses have to match. These parentheses must match. And if you've done it correctly, so the parentheses match, you know you're in a good place. X squared minus 8 goes together. And then x minus 2 stays. And that is the factored form. That's called factor by grouping. Yeah, it should mark it correct either way. Actually, I can't. It'll totally erase if I move it right now. It's on the screen, right? So, greatest common factors. Next one. Not yet. Sorry. GCF.
I just put God right. I wrote down a few that I got correct. So.
This is one that y'all did in pre-algebra. This one you guys came in this year knowing. You know it. You guys did this problem before. You already know it. Your summer job includes working for a lawn mowing service and a car wash. Last week you worked 22 hours mowing lawns, 4 hours at the car wash. You're paid $10 per hour. You guys know the word per means multiply. What is the amount per hour you make mowing lawns if your total was $3.92? So total equals what? 4, which is the car wash, times $10 plus 22, and we don't know how much money you're getting mowing lawns. And I think you guys, you don't even need to write the equation. With the calculator, you could kind of just like subtract. So with the calculator starting at 392, you would subtract 40, and that would get you to 352, and then divide by 22, and that'll tell you how much you made per hour mowing lawns. So most students just figure this out without algebra. What? Yeah, so it's 392 minus 40, and that's 352, and then you just divide it by how much time mowing lawns. So most of you guys, if this was like really your situation and you wanted to know how much money you made, you could figure it out with a calculator in your hand. You don't need math class. You don't need to do it just like this. So it's 392 equals 40 plus 22m. This is how algebra teachers do it, but people get by all the time in real life without doing it this way. So what's 352 divided by 22? Is the answer 16?
Yes.
And so that means you made 16 an hour mowing lawns. 392 is pretty good though for 26 hours of work. It's like, $400 in the summer, and that's pretty good. No, each week. That's pretty good. I mean, you don't make 16 an hour at Publix. It's like 15 at most. So that's actually pretty good. What is it? Yeah. So that's actually pretty good, 16 an hour. And that one's a cheap one. All right, next one.
Gabriel, why are you turning off my computer? I didn't even touch yours. You have to turn it all the way back on. You just trying to tell me right now. You didn't cite the law. Yeah, I can't even read something.
Hey, you guys, I have a cheat code for this question. I know how it's supposed to be done, but I also know because it's multiple choice, we can do a quicker guess and check method. Since they're giving you the equations and this is x and y, right? You could just try plugging x and y in and see which equation comes out true. And so that's a good cheat code on a multiple choice test. So let's try letter A. Is it 2 times 3 minus 7 times 5 equal to negative 29? Or we would try the same thing in letter B. Is 2 times 3 minus 7 times 5 equal to positive 29? Nevaeh, did you get this one?
No, I got that wrong.
What do you think about my guess and check cheat code? I actually think this is how they want you to do it. So if you put this point in the x and the y, it has to come out true if it's really the equation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys. So if they give you equations in one point, just plug it in and see which one works. It has to be the left equals the right. So this is x and that's y. And if you put it in that x and that y, it has to equal that. And we could do it with this point either. You could do it with either point. You could do negative 4 and 3 and see which one is true, or 3 and 5.
For number 6.
Yeah.
I gotta divide. For number 6, I gotta divide by 22 or 220.
The one I just did?
Yeah. You know how it was like 10.
352 divided by 22. All right, so this is it. David, it's the first one, right? It's the first one? Oh, who did that? You did that? Okay. Did anybody get this one right?
I got it right.
You're all totally capable of plugging in X and Y and getting it right. You just have to try it. So troubleshoot, problem solve. Neil, you could get this one right? Put the X in the X spot. Put the Y in the Y spot. Pick the one that's true. Everyone's capable of doing that. You just got to think of it on the test day.
Wait, I did this one. I got it right, but I don't remember how I did it.
No. All right, we'll pick up with number 8 tomorrow.